Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today, we're going to talk about and give a little review of the Soulblight Gravelords White Dwarf Battletome update. So coming out this month, we're going to see the update to the Soulblight Gravelords and see them get a bunch of brand new rules, some battle tactics, some battalions, and a whole bunch of other stuff for their Battletome to bring them up to date in Warhammer Age of Sigmar 3rd edition. And so, with that said, let's get cracking on, let's have a chat about it all and talk about it, and let us know what you think of all the updates in the comments below, as always. And so, let's start off with the Allegiance ability additions we've gotten now to the army. First of all, we have an Allegiance ability that is flat for Soulblight Gravelords, so all sub-factions within the force will get this, and it's called Deadly Coordination. This is somewhat similar to what demons have gotten across the game with the various factions we've started seeing now. So, in the combat phase, after a friendly Soulblight Gravelords hero that is not a monster has fought in that phase for the first time, you can pick one friendly summonable unit that has not yet fought, and that is within 3 inch of an enemy unit, and is wholly within 12 inch of the friendly hero that has just fought. That summonable unit immediately fights. So this is pretty cool. This means, you can have your Vampire Lord there, activate, get a few extra attacks in with him, and then have the zombies or the skeletons or the Graveguard or whatever that are near him attack as well. It's pretty cool. It allows you, your smaller heroes to get their attacks in, to not be like a wasted sort of one of your activations, because you're going to get to activate something near them. So it's pretty cool. They're leading your troops. I really like these abilities for a ton of armies. I want to see this in a lot more armies game-wide, in all honesty. But then we also got some additions to Legion of Blood as well, in the form of the Unparalleled Expertise rule. So when you pick a Legion of Blood vampire in your army, you must decide whether it has Martial or Arcane Expertise, and then you record this on your army roster. If you have Martial Expertise, you add one to the attacks characteristic of that model's Deathlance or Vampiric Sword, and if they have Soulbound Blades, you instead add 2 attacks to that weapon instead. So this is pretty cool. It's going to give some extra attacks and generally make your vampires a little bit more fighty. Solid stuff. Lastly, we have Arcane Expertise. So this is the other one you can choose. If you've not chosen Martial, you choose Arcane, and you add one to the casting, dispelling, and unbinding rolls in each hero phase for a Vampire Lord that has Arcane Expertise and that is mounted on a Zombie Dragon. However, the cool thing about this is you add 2 to these rolls if that Vampire Lord is not mounted on a Zombie Dragon. So you could get some Foot Wizards here with a nice +2 to cast, which is really solid for your Soulblight Gravelords, giving you some really good edge in the magic phase, or the hero phase rather. Some solid abilities, and all round I think these are great additions to the Soulblight Gravelords. It's definitely boosting up probably the weakest sub-faction in the book, but also giving just all Soulblight Gravelords a really cool ability to make all your foot heroes fight that, and get to actually participate in the game and not sort of ruin your activations and be a unit that's activating. When you would rather be activating a unit, is instead going to allow, if you got the positioning right, a unit to effectively get some extra cool, higher quality attacks. Next up, we have a couple of cool mount traits for the Soulblight Gravelords. So for these, you get to pick one hero in your army with a Zombie Dragon mount to have one of the following mount traits. So you get 2 options here. You either have the Locus of Death, which I think is my preferred one of the 2. So when you use the Deathly Invocation ability, if you pick this unit as the hero that determines the number of units affected by the ability, then you can add 1 to the number of units affected. So this is pretty cool. Just being able to do more with your Deathly Invocation is definitely a bonus, and on your big monster sort of affecting this, I think it's a really solid mount trait. It doesn't necessarily make your monster any better, but it is a great support ability for your monster to have, just being able to do something else for your force. The other one is Foetid Miasma, so when this unit attacks with its Pestilential Breath, you can reroll the die that determines the damage characteristic of the attack. I mean, nice and simple. Pestilential Breath definitely has an issue of potentially, doing absolutely nothing. So being able to reroll that dice is nice. It would be cool if maybe this, I guess, just made it a flat number rather than a roll, or, gave +1 or something like that. Would be nice, but rerolling is cool. I still think out of these 2, I do prefer Locus of Death. And then we've got our core battalion. So the first one, Radakar's Court. This is literally just the Radakar Court that we know of. And we get Magnificent for this, getting an extra enhancement now. Obviously, this might be cool for your army if you've got, say, other heroes, but also if you're just like running Radakar's Court, I guess you could have this giving, an extra spell maybe. to your army or something like that could be really interesting. Another Triumph, etc. Like, that's sort of what you'd go in, because you've got a lot of your characters here in this sort of big, bulky lot of units. But, you know, it's cool. I would have probably preferred this one if it came as like unified. Being able to deploy Radicar's Court as unified would have been really cool, but Magnificent's okay. Felwing Flock, the units in there, so you've got 2-3 Vargas and 2-3 Felbats, and you get Swift. You know, yeah, there's not much. You know, getting a free run for any of these is pretty cool, or, you know, a reroll charge potentially, maybe useful in like Legion and Knight with those Vargas coming on the side of the board. Then we got the Death Stench Drove, where 1 or 2 Corpse Cards, 2 Direwolves, and 2 Zombies, and you get Slayers, so you get an all-out attack or all-out defense an all-out attack or Unleash Hell. So an all-out attack for these units for free. It's okay. I think, for me, the Felwing Flock's got interesting in like Legion and Knight. I definitely think, you know, Swift and a rerollable charge ability on there is useful. And then Radicar's Court's just cool. Like, I definitely want to run a Radicar's Court army. Something focused around that. I really think that would be quite interesting to play around with. Plus, I've got all the cool models there from the army. So, if I do a Soulblight army, it'll be definitely focused around Radicar's Court. So, I'm a little bit interested in that battalion. But Felwing Flock, I think, in Legion and Knight is probably the most interesting and useful one you're going to see. We get a single grand strategy with the Soulblight Gravelords in the Battletome update, and honestly, I don't mind this. So when the battle ends, you can complete this grand strategy if you control more grave sites than your opponent. This is definitely a good grand strategy. You can definitely play into this, putting your grave sites into areas you know you are going to control. This is a really, really solid grand strategy, and even a good one like to take to a tournament and playing games where you know you're up against the wall, you know you're probably going to lose, but you're really aiming to get all like your grand strategies and your battle tactics ready. Being able to put these in like your own deployment zone if you've got a bad matchup or something like that is definitely a useful thing to have for your grand strategy. You can, you know, just hold out and just sort of bunker around them, trying to grab all those battle tactic points and that grand strategy points for your secondaries in a tournament or something. Could be really useful. And so lastly, we have our battle tactics, and I do think we've got a decent set of battle tactics for the Soulblight Gravelords. On first look, they didn't look like much, but honestly, I think these have grown on me more and more. So Callous Overlord, pick one friendly summonable unit that is more than 3 inch from all enemy units. You complete this tactic if that friendly unit is destroyed during this turn. This is actually a really good tactic. So if you've got a unit, generally a battle line will be one of your summonable units that is dying, send it into the fire and let it die. The cool thing about this is you can pick a unit that your opponent has an easy battle tactic to get, say, broken ranks on and destroy that unit in your turn, stopping your opponent being able to pick an easy broken ranks, but also completing your own battle tactic. This is a solid battle tactic. Lust for Blood is pretty simple. You complete this battle tactic for your general or 2 other friendly vampire models using the Hunger and or Mortark of Blood ability to heal any wounds. Pretty solid. You can almost guarantee you're going to be able to do that. You can get, you know, your stuff fighting and all that sort of stuff to be able to use it. And you've got Unstoppable Armies. You complete this battle tactic if during this turn you roll a 5+ when determining if you replace a destroyed unit from your army using the Endless Legions battle trait. Now, if you get any bonuses to your roll on that, it totally works with this because it says you just have to roll a 5+. It doesn't say a natural 5+ or an unmodified 5+. So any bonuses to that definitely work as long as the roll gets you a unit back on the table. It will succeed with this battle tactic. These are all pretty solid in all honesty, and I really love the idea of Callous Overlord, and the sort of tricks and stuff you can play around with that is really, really cool. So, with that said, what do you all think of the Soulblight Gravelords Battletome updates? I honestly think this is one of the more well thought out and the better Battletome updates we've gotten for White Dwarf to come out. It's definitely better than the Cities one, which honestly felt really lackluster. I definitely think this is one of the better, if not the best one we've seen so far. Well, that's the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And while you're at it, drop us a comment below in the comment section and let us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so by following the link in the video's description to our Discord server. Lastly, we'd like to give a shout out to everyone who supports the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, and you can go help support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members as well and get access to, if you're a YouTube member, some of our awesome little gifts or get choice of what we're going to do for content on the channel. You can follow those links in the description of the video to Patreon and YouTube members, but a shout out to them all, our Patreons, Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, and James Cater. And to our YouTube members as well, a special shout out to Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Aronya, Vinny, Locklaric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, and Broken Chef. Lastly, I'd like to give a special shout out first of all to Lady Witchvox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel that you see here, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing work and the background work for our Discord server. Thank you both very much for all your help. That's it for today though, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.